Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
Hello and happy day to all, and welcome back to part 2 of our two-part series on domestic violence. We've had several calls, and I want to thank each and every one of you for calling in with your concerns, your comments, as well as telling us how you like the show. And even several people emailed me. So again, thank you so much. And welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee and Friends. My friends are Lenore right here. We have Jackie there, and we have Noni right here on the end. And we are so happy to be back with you again this week. And we trust that you had a good week, So if you're listening, which I know you are, I want you to take a few minutes and run and get your paper and pen. Because we want you to take notes, because on part 2, we've got some really good information that we're going to share. As I stated in part 1, people was texting me, emailing me, because they wanted to hear about this subject, domestic violence. And I searched, but I couldn't find anybody. So I was at church one Sunday, and I was asking one of the members about, did they know anyone that wasn't afraid to get up and tell their story about domestic violence. Mm-hmm. From that, this lady right here to my left, Elfrida Robinson, she stood up. She said, I've got a story to tell. And let me tell you a little bit about Elfrida. She was diagnosed as being legally blind. She has 2 biological children, 2 children that she adopted, and she has 1 grandchild. Elfrida, she's gone from graduating in 1982 with an associate's degree from Wayne County Community College to receiving her bachelor's in 1985. She worked in counseling. She's a recovering person for 24 years, and she retired. Retired from going to that job. But then in 2009, Elfrida said she wanted to help others. So she launched Bridge the Gap Incorporated. It's a career development service, which is a nonprofit that specializes in providing career development services to the disabled. But that didn't stop Elfrida. In 2011, she graduated from the University of Detroit Mercy with a master's in business education. So Elfrida, you've been busy. But she also has that, what should I say? I don't want to say religious about her, but she's very religious.
That's spirituality.
That's it. See, that's why I got these friends here. Because when I can't think of the word, they come right out with it. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. But she is a member, 7 years, of Triumph Church, attending the center here in Southfield. So Elfrida, let's continue on from last week. Regarding your domestic violence, did you think you could have done anything differently to make your significant other not fight you?
Well, initially I thought I could. I thought if I'd be passive, I thought that if I don't speak up and if I go along and get along, if I give him what he want or become who he needed me to be, or said who he needed me to be, that it would make everything all right. And I built him $1 million business.
Wow.
And building him $1 million business, he still didn't like me. I needed to accept the fact that he was who he was, and there was nothing that I could do to change the situation. I thought that if I could do this and if I do that he would be okay, but really I needed to find some place within me to be okay with who I was and accept myself. You know, I can't expect somebody else to accept me if I'm not accepting myself.
That's right.
And it didn't work out like that. You know, it really became really bad, especially the emotional abuse. You know, I can remember in the world we would go out and he wouldn't talk to me when we would get in the car, or he wouldn't talk to me when I would be at home. And but then when you come over, he'll talk to me. Or we'd be in the bed and he wouldn't touch me when I wanted to be touched. He only touched me when he wanted to be touched. And so I was being emotionally abused. And I didn't know it. You know, I just didn't know it. I just figured that if I smell better, if I look better, if I act better, if I don't talk, you know, we would get along a lot better. So I would make up conversation. You know how you make up conversation, things that you think you want to talk about. And I would make up conversation so we could have some form of dialogue. And it still didn't work out. You know, I just kept believing that I was the problem.
You know, so it's not only physical abuse, but it's mental abuse.
Absolutely.
Because you talked about he didn't talk to you or anything. But you know, according to national statistics on domestic violence, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by their intimate partner. And during 1 year, that equals to more than 10 million women and men being physical or mentally abused.
Frida, how long did the abuse last?
Well, we were together for 12 years. And then we ended up getting married and I got out in 2.
Oh, so you weren't married when that happened?
Oh, no. No.
Oh, I thought
Was
you
the
were.
abuse before the marriage?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you still married?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I sure did.
What, did you believe that he would change? I mean,
Well, at that point, it wasn't really about him. It was about security. I had adopted my sister's 2 children, and I was afraid. I was afraid. I had a family, and I didn't have a husband. And he had been by me through everything. And I figured that, you know, I felt like the old lady in the shoe. I had so many kids, what would I do? And he wanted to marry me. But he wanted to marry me before the kids.
Oh, okay.
But when I got the kids, I asked him, I said, would you ever ask me to marry me again? And he said no. And that still, I still could not accept the fact that now you don't want me? Right? You don't want me really? So I came up with this great idea. I threw this big party. And I put on this red dress with my high heel shoes, right? And
The red.
I'm serious. And I got down on my knees because he had proposed to me twice, and I said no when I didn't have my children, my two adopted children, right? And so I put him in a situation where he had to say yes around in front of other people.
Yeah.
And he said yes.
Put him on the spot.
Put him on the spot. You know, so I got exactly what my hand called for. Because once again, I could not accept reality. He did not want me.
Alfreda, did you lie and defend him? Did you lie or defend him on his behalf?
Some behavior I did, like I was like when we got married, I built a business. He had a trucking company, haul steel for Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. And I was in Hawaii all by myself. He never went anywhere with me. Whenever you saw me, you saw the ring. You knew I was married, but you didn't see him.
Okay.
And he would, I would make up excuses on why he wasn't. He had to work. He worked a lot of hours. He traveled the road. But for real, he did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, with who he wanted to do it with. Oh, did I say that? Okay.
Yeah, you said it.
You said it.
Yeah,
You said,
absolutely.
and you heard it, audience.
Absolutely.
You heard it,
Absolutely.
viewers, yes.
Absolutely. So I pretended that, everything was fine, because I come from a place where what goes on in this house stays in this house, right? So I was used to that thing that people do. We show the world one thing, but
Right.
we something else on the inside of the house.
Yes, a lot of people do that. A lot of women do that.
Absolutely.
Wear the mask.
Absolutely. And so that was how it worked out.
Well,
So-
with him abusing you, how did he make up to you? How did,
Oh,
After-
gifts. Oh, honey, gifts. Diamonds, furs, trips. Oh my goodness. I mean, he was a family guy. My kids was taken care of quite well, right? He's a good provider. He gives money. Material things have always been a part of me, because my dad would give his money, but he wouldn't give him.
Yes.
So I was used to men giving their money,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't give them. They wasn't intimate with me.
Right.
See, intimacy wasn't a part of my family, because my mom was a gambler as well as a social worker. Right? So intimacy wasn't a part of her either.
So, Elfrida, how many times have you been married or in this situation with different men?
Oh my goodness. I've been married twice. I've been married once, excuse me. But all my relationships, and I've been in, 3 since my divorce. I'm going to talk about those 3. All of them had some form of verbal, emotional abuse,
Wow.
but no physical. No physical.
No physical
Verbal-
with him, but
verbal
verbal.
just as bad, though.
and
Verbal
mental.
is just
Yes.
as bad.
Yes.
Verbal is just as
sometimes
bad.
it's worse.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, absolutely. Back-
Because the emotional aspect of it,
Yes,
and then the putting down to make you feel your self-worth is low.
absolutely.
But did you ever file charges on him?
Oh.
Was there ever, did the police ever get involved?
Before I got married, I think I had been knowing him about 3 years, maybe 4, and he kicked in my door. And when he kicked in the door, me and my daughter, who just turned 38 yesterday, we ran in the dark. Right now, remember, I don't have on any shoes, so we hid in the closet, and he was looking for us. And looking for me, should I say. So when we ran past him, I ran in the glass and cut my feet up. But when I ran smack into my dad. And the police was outside, and they arrested him, and I filed charges. Do you know I dropped the charges?
That's why I asked.
That's the way it
I
happens.
dropped the charges.
That is exactly
And went
how
right
it
back
happens.
with him. Yes, I did. I
lot
went
of
right
women do
back
that.
with him.
Now, Renee had gave the definition of it, a pattern, okay? Did you see the pattern in yourself, or you saw the pattern in him first, or what?
I did not see the pattern until I went into intense psychoanalyst treatment. I went in there in 1993, and I stayed in there. I did 5 years of intense, and then 5 years of she started winging me off, right? So that I can stand on my own 2 feet. And in those 10 years, I began, my eyes was that of a child. My patterns was that of a child. When you're an adult and you're looking at a child's eyes, you responding to life as a child. But when you begin to get therapy and help, you begin to respond to life as an adult. She put the proper perspective of life in order for me.
Beautiful.
I'm not a child anymore,
Yes.
right? I don't need somebody to take care of me. I had all the things that a woman would want. I had the education, I had the house, I got all the stuff. Why do I feel the need to have somebody?
So why did you stay?
Because I thought he loved me.
Oh, a lot of women say that.
I thought he loved me because my perception of love is distorted. You know, if you look, but the more money you spend on me, the more I think you love me. That does not denote love.
Right.
No.
Okay.
But see, I was raised that the things represented love.
Right.
My mother and father didn't have time for me. They gave me stuff. They gave me toys. But they didn't give me them.
The emotional aspect.
Yes, absolutely. So if you give me stuff, diamonds, whatever, do things and all this stuff, I really do think you love me.
That happens. So many people that are sitting there, listening to us today can relate to what she says because it happens.
Absolutely.
And I can say this, I believe some of us here have went through some type of domestic violence.
Absolutely.
Okay? If not physical, some mental abuse. But tell me this, Elfrida, was there ever a time when a weapon was used? Because 19% of domestic violence involves some type of weapon. Was there a weapon, a
Girl,
gun?
my car. Is that a weapon?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I didn't even know I knew how to drive like that. I had found out that he had an extramarital affair with the babysitter. And she had stood in my face for 7 years. So how long had they been together? I don't know. But we were separated. We separated at this time, and I wanted to talk to him.
Yes.
I needed to talk to him. Now, remember, I know all about this, but I need to talk to him because I'm grieving.
Right.
So I went over there unannounced, and I did. I went over there unannounced and found out not only was it the babysitter, but it was women that I knew. And I was devastated.
Yeah.
Of course.
And he was laughing. He came out of the house laughing.
And that just hurt more.
And I didn't even know what first and second gear was, first and second gear. But I was hitting, and I was throwing the car. I mean, unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But if he had failed, I would have never met you.
Okay.
I went to jail that weekend. I had never been to jail in my life. I went to jail that weekend, and I met an angel in that jail. She was a detective.
Praise God.
And she told me, she said, he's out in the waiting area crying, begging us not to press charges on you. Why? She said, tell me your story. And I told her my story. And she said, oh my God. She said, let me tell you who you are. You are the kind of woman that'll end up in jail for the rest of your life, and he'll still be out doing the same thing.
Right. That's right.
Right? Or he'll kill you, or you will kill him. She said, how important is it for you to, how important is that to you? And I said, very. She said, this is what's going to happen. And she laid the pictures of the damage I had did to the street, or that block, out to me to show me what I had done. I was in a blackout.
What was you driving?
I was driving a Malibu, right? I mean, seriously. And she showed me the pictures, and I was crying, but I was numb. I was very numb. And I remember she let me go. She didn't press charges. That was an angel.
Yes.
And she let me go home, and he grabbed me by my hand when I was leaving out of the precinct. Took me home, had sex with me, but I couldn't feel it.
That's when you knew it was over.
I knew it was over. It was the last straw. Last straw for me. I was numb. My whole body was numb. Right? I didn't even cry. It was like, at what point do you stop being a complete fool?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Me and you we had talked earlier, and one of the questions was, the statements is that I said, I believe most women accept abuse, and they become complacent with it. And so, do you feel that sometimes you accepted that abuse, and psychologically you wasn't ready to let go? Because in the relationship, those patterns were there. So you accepted it until you woke up? Or how? What happened?
A lot of times we expect that when we know better, we do better, but that's not always the case.
Right.
It's hard to get there.
Right? A lot of times we do things because we're accustomed to doing them, or we condition, right? And so acceptance is not something like if you see somebody on drugs, you say, oh, they on drugs because they want to be. No, you can't assume that. You can't assume that a person is being domestically violent, receiving being domestically abused, excuse me, as a direct result of they accepted it. You know what I mean? That sometimes people just can't get it, can't work their way out of it, you know? And it takes time. Everything is like a process, you know? And it's a process of coming to. You know, nothing is like automatic.
No.
You know, not even when you're in love with somebody. Even when you gone, the love ain't gone.
Right, that's true.
You know, it's not like a light switch. Love is not like a light switch. You can't walk up there and cut it off and on when you feel like it.
That's right.
It has to deplete itself in time. What they say, time heals what? All wounds.
But it makes you wonder about spirituality and the church and those women or people who are so religious, or say they so religious, but they're caught up in it and they praying and asking the Lord to help them get out of the situation, but yet they still will be in it. You know, do they get their answers? If you pray into the Lord and you really believe in the Lord, do you get your answers?
God gave me the answer. Are you want to go?
No. What she just said, God will give you an answer and He will show you.
Yes.
But can you see it?
Right.
Can you see it? Do you hear it?
Are you going to respond
Yes,
to it?
absolutely.
Right. You know, because
Yes.
a lot of people are disobedient.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
You know, they are disobedient. He'll put it right there in front of you. But go ahead, huh?
I got a girlfriend, me and her was talking on the phone one night, and she told me that I had been through domestic violence, and I told her, no, I haven't. I ain't never been through no domestic violence. Oh, we got into a big argument, and I hung up on her.
But she was right, right?
Now, ever since she
She
asked me,
didn't accept it.
I didn't accept it.
She didn't accept it.
She was in
Let me say,
denial.
I was not going to accept it. I was
Right.
defending myself.
Yeah.
I defend myself. I'm not
Yes.
in domestic violence. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. So that was my thinking, right? But it took it's been 2 years now. She gave me some questions to answer. I was so refused, so I wouldn't even look at the questions. No, I'm not doing that. That's not me. Right? But it been like in my spirit ever since. You know? Maybe, just maybe, she was telling me that just maybe something is wrong. Something is wrong. Frida, maybe you need to look in that area. And I started looking in that area deeper and deeper and deeper. So when I heard you say it, when I heard her say it, I was sitting on the side of a flower bed, just sitting there. I didn't mean to get up and come over there and say I was going to do no domestic violence, but the Lord picked me up. And before I know it, I was standing in front of her,
Yes.
right? And also, before a couple of days ago, I was like, "Ooh, who's going to see that TV program? Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Oh my neighbors!" And then I said, "Well, what about that seed?
Yes.
That seed that I can help somebody to believe that maybe that they can come out of this. They don't have to be stuck
Right.
and allowing people to mistreat them and take advantage of them. You know, mentally, physically, spiritually, any of that."
There's a lot of people stuck in a domestic
Yeah.
violence
Yeah.
situation.
And stay
Lots of people
denial.
and absolutely, they're in denial.
But you know, let me say this because you know I got to pay the bills. So let me give a shout out to our sponsor, Speed Flow Investment Club, where you can invest a small amount, right, Jackie?
Yes, yes,
And watch it grow
All right.
to a forever income. So give Speed Flow a call at 248-721-1256 and tell them you heard it on Always Moving Forward. Also, Antoine Bell, the CEO of Bell Network. He's the one who makes it possible for us to be with you every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Now, if you don't catch us on Comcast Channel 20, you can always after church, take your phone out or your computer, pull up BGN TV Gospel, and search for Always Moving Forward. And I just found out we're on YouTube.
All right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So you can go to that same site, or no, pull up YouTube, and then search for Always Moving Forward with Renee. I think I got that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay? But whatever, we got it all covered. You can't miss us. You can't miss us. So I know we've got a few resources right quick that we
Yes,
want to get
yes.
out, right?
Yes, I have one. If you are in an immediate domestic violence situation, you can call 800-799-7233. Or you can go on the web line at www.thehotline.org. Noni, you got something?
Oh, yes, I do. I have also, according to the Partnership Against Domestic Violence, ladies, every 9 seconds, a woman in this country is getting beaten.
That's right.
And it's amazing. So I hope this show will reach those that need it. And also, if you in need of help, you can go to The Haven if you live in Oakland County. And The Haven has education and prevention. They have a crisis line, and also they have a toll-free number, which is 877-922-1274. And they have a shelter, they have counseling, support groups, they'll help you with court if you need to put out a PPO, because we really haven't talked about what needs to happen if you're being abused. So we have that information, but please, sisters and females out here, if you're in need of help, please do something. Get out of your situation, because God loves you and so do we.
Yes. You can also call the police department and tell them that you need to be connected to somebody in domestic violence.
Of course.
Okay? You can do that. Call the police department and ask them that you want to speak to somebody regarding domestic violence.
911.
911.
911.
Yeah, I don't know about 911.
Well, you can start with 911.
Well,
You
start
need
with
some
it.
help.
Right.
Down 911. But you know, audience, I do want to tell you, we are always moving forward, and what we're going to do with all of our topics, we're going to always move forward with Renee and friends. So until next week, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
My name is Mike Duggan, and I'm watching the Bell Global Network.
Hey, keep it locked. It's your boy D. Hattie watching the Bell Global Network. You know how it is.
Hi, I'm Charlie Langton, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, this is Martha Reeves, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm telling you, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. I'm Evelyn Turrentine, AG, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Pastor D. Alexander Bullock of Preachers of Detroit, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Bishop Edgar Van of Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit, Michigan, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Stanis. You know me best as Thelma from the TV show Good Times, and you are watching Bell Global Network.